great to be back, but what, a decade, more than a decade working away?
Yeah, probably 10 years in the States, close to. So, been away, done a lot of work, got a lot of experience, and fortunate to be back at such an unbelievable club and looking forward to it.
You're playing and coaching time in America. Do you think you were afforded opportunities to advance your skills and experience there that you might not have been able to do here? It's been an advantage, if you like, for your career.
It's a choice that I made. I went and did something a little bit different than other people. You coach. My first job over there coaching youth, so I was actually coaching 4 teams at a time. So out on the pitch every night, probably 3-4 hours at a time, 4-5 games at a weekend. So the amount of actual coaching hours is why I chose to do it. I think it's made me a more rounded coach. Time will tell if I'm right or not, but that's the reason, that's where I've been.
Was there a difference in attitude in America as well? Because I kind of imagine people there would see you as a seasoned professional at a very high standard and would be really open in their mind to your coaching ideas, whereas here, every parent of every child has got their own ideas and opinions about the game.
I think it's different here as well. I would have tried to get into the professional game because there's less scope for jobs within the youth side of the game. So I just felt like it was a better learning experience for me, a better environment, just my personality. And like I say, it's a choice, so you're either right or you're wrong, and time will tell.
Obviously, you've had a great spell at Atlanta, both in the interim position, first team in Atlanta United too. What kind of grounding do you think that's given you and allowed you to take skills into the job here at Aberdeen?
Yeah, being in charge of teams, being totally responsible for teams, responsible for their performance, responsible for player development. So I think it's something that's important at the club here. You've got to be able to handle being in charge of the team, making the decisions along with your staff, obviously, and the player development's important too. There's a big youth academy here that needs nurtured a little bit, I think, to put those boys in the team if they're ready for it. So I think my background is going to help that, but I think I've shown in Atlanta I can handle big players too. We sold Pittodrie Martinez for $20 million the day of a game when I was in charge last year, so it's not like I've been handling a team that's not got big time players in it.
I think that's the point, and also your playing career, you were working big time managers and big time players. You've been in that environment. Yeah,
I think since I walked in the door here at 12-13 years old, and Alex Smith was the first manager that I seen. So since then, all the way through, Kenny Dalglish, Hewlett, Bobby Robson, I've played for some good managers. I've played alongside some good players that have became good managers as well. So it's not like I've been in environments that have been poor in terms of learning. So if I can put that into practice, great, show that I've soaked up what I can, taking the good bits, forget the bad bits, and even learn from them as well. So I think I'm as well rounded a coach as I can be at this age.
Obviously, you've got something to prove because people will say, well, what's his track record, and you've got that aspect. But I'm guessing you're pretty confident you've got what you need to deliver here.
Every first-time manager has pressure on them. Every manager that walks through the door at Aberdeen Football Club has pressure on them. I want that sort of pressure, and that's why I'm here. The people that have come along to work with me they want the same thing. They wouldn't leave the situations they're in if they didn't believe myself would be successful and the club is going to be successful. So I'm looking forward to what's coming.
I probably should have done more research, so correct me if I'm wrong here, Dave, because you'll know. But I'm trying to think of Aberdeen's last, what you might describe as rookie manager, and did he not win a cup that you were pretty prominent in? Roy? Yeah.
Roy? Yeah. Well, I don't know what age Roy would have been when he won a cup as a manager, but I'm 44 years old. I've had a pro licence for 7 or 8 years. I've been coaching for 12, 13. So I don't consider myself a rookie. I'm ready for this job, and I think I'll prove it.
Obviously, there's fevered speculation about the overhaul of the team that is required, or could be required, depending on the contract players. Is that something that you actually have been able to look at, despite the fact you've not been here and not working with the players?
Yeah, I've had a chance to see what the framework looks like. I know all the players that are out of contract. I know how long the existing players' contracts are. We've got a handle on who might and might not be available as well, and who we might want to go after. So I think I know what needs strengthened, but I think between now and the end of the season on the pitch, the players have an opportunity to prove that they should be here next year.
Is that something that they've responded quite well to? Because there's always uncertainty when a new manager comes in, and many of them have only known one gaffer at this club.
Yeah, they have, and the reason for that is Derek McInnes was a successful Aberdeen manager. You don't stay at football clubs like this for 8 years if you've not been. But the changes happened, the players are on board, they're determined to finish the season strongly, and it starts on Saturday against Livingston.
plenty of managers we speak to in the Premiership, they're always like, yeah, you know, I'll speak to the chairman, I'll try and get a wee bit more, I'd love to bring somebody in. You hopefully will get the backing that you need to be a success here.
I think every manager that's been here has had the backing that they deserve and need. It's how you use it. I think I will get the backing of the chairman and the board. Otherwise, again, I wouldn't be here as a young manager thinking I'm not sure what sort of backing we're going to get. I know there's backing coming, but I also know that every manager at this club has had backing. It's how you use it, it's how you choose to use it. That's what's going to prove whether I can do this in the long run.
There's been a big statement already with Scott Brown coming on board and Alan Russell. Can you tell me a wee bit about the thought process to bring both of them in and what you think they'll bring?
Yeah, I think it's a statement on behalf of the club that what we are trying to do, but it's a statement on behalf of those players that, oh sorry, Alan's not a player anymore, he looks like one but he's not, but he's the statement on behalf of those players, the people that they want to be a part of this as well, what the club offers, what the environment that it has and the backing that we believe we're going to get and what's possible. Scott is going to really help on the pitch, he's going to learn off the pitch, he's going to be a brilliant coach and manager. Alan's the same, he's a very well-rounded coach and he's going to provide a lot to this club while he's here.
Players that you hope to bring in will look to the coaching team that you have, and that might seem very attractive to them because of the profile that they do have.
I'm sure it is. Again, Aberdeen attracts players. If you've got a staff that can attract players, I think that'll help. Again, time's going to tell. But if you're a centre forward that wants to get better and Alan Russell's the one that's going to be at the club helping you, I think that's attractive. If you want to play in a team that's got Scott Brown in it, I think he's won almost every trophy for the last 8-9 years. He's been the guy that lifts it at the end of the season. If I was still a player, I'd want to play beside Scott Brown. So I think I'm looking forward to what's coming.
Sorry, I've been
That's all right, no worries. Stephen, one player who's constantly being linked and still is being linked with Aberdeen is, of course, Lee Griffiths. What can you tell us about that? Is he on your wish list?
Lee Griffiths is a Celtic player, so I don't talk about players at other clubs. It's not right. It's not respectful to him, to the players at our club as well. So Lee Griffiths is a Celtic player, that's all there is to it.
Okay, the fans obviously crave attacking, entertaining football, lots and lots of goals. What can you tell them about that, about your philosophy?
It's not my philosophy, it's the club's philosophy, the club's strategy. It's pretty clear, it's been well defined and it's been put out there. The club wants to bring people back to the stadium when we're allowed to bring them back, so that we can have as many people in here as we can that actually want to come and watch the team. They want to see young players, if they're good enough, given opportunities. The coaching staff that's here are willing to do that. We're looking forward to that opportunity and we're looking forward to working with the group of players that's here.
Yeah, I mean, we want to see, like you say, a packed house. We want to see fans out of their seat with excitement at some scintillating football, don't we?
Every club that's got a right mind on the planet wants that. Aberdeen's no different, but the strategy is there. We're here to implement it. There's a reason I'm at the football club. There's a reason that the staff have come along, and there's a reason that people want to play for this club.
How confident are you, Stephen, that this can be the start of a really bright new era for Aberdeen Football Club? How tough a task do you have to get the club to where you want it to be?
I think it's going to take time, obviously, but we do think we can implement changes pretty quickly. We've got a number of games come pretty quick fire straight away, which is good as well, so you can see how the players can respond to what we're asking them to do. We'll see if they can implement what we're asking them to do. I'm sure they can, I've seen it in training already. But the proof's in the pudding, the proof starts on Saturday, and then we'll build from there. It's a long-term thing. The summer, beyond the summer, I'm pretty excited about what can happen, but I'm also excited about Saturday coming as quick as it can.
There's obviously excitement among the fans about your arrival, Scott's arrival, Alan's arrival. Is there going to be a director of football coming in at some stage? Is that in the structure at all?
The structure of the club is not something I decide. There is Stephen Gunn's there at the moment doing an unbelievable job, really good at what he does. People's roles might change a little bit here and there, but that's for the board to decide. So I'm here to coach the team, to manage the team. That's what I've been brought in to do. My role's clearly defined as well. So if a director of football happened to come in, you might have more information than me.
First up, Livingston in the Scottish Cup on Saturday, an exciting game to look forward to. How important is it to get off to a winning start?
It's vital. Yeah, the club needs to be in the latter stage of the tournament like it has been previous years. So everything that we are building towards, ever since I got this opportunity, I know what's coming up. Livingston, the next round of the cup, it needs to be won. So that's the aim. We know Livingston are not going to roll over. We know what they offer. We know they've came here and won earlier in the season, so it's going to be difficult, but we will be doing everything we can to be in the next round of the Cup.
Is there any reason why Aberdeen can't go all the way in the Scottish Cup this season and clinch third in the Premiership?
The reason we can't would be Aberdeen in the league and would be the other teams that are in the Cup. They all want the same thing as us, so it's up to us to do as best as we can to get the rewards that we desire. I think it starts on Saturday, as all would look at, and then we know we Celtic come here on Wednesday night, so we've got a couple of games really quick that we need to handle before we start thinking about end of season numbers, positions and things like that.
And as we all know, very sadly, no fans in the stadium, but Saturday's game is a virtual sellout. I mean, what do you make of that response? That's terrific to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It just shows you that the backing is here at the club. And like I said at the start, the aim is that all those people that are buying tickets for the virtual thing, which is greatly appreciated by the club, they want to buy a ticket and come in here when they're allowed to. And I can't wait to see this place full again.
Stephen, Dave, one thing I was going to ask you, you talked about your huge experience with younger players, bringing through younger players, and obviously that was your absolute role at Atlanta United too, was developing players, regardless of results and performance. There's unbelievable talent amongst some of the young players here at this football club, and I know the fans are desperate to see more of them on the pitch. Is that something that's definitely part of your kind of remit to try and blood these players and develop them and ultimately, hopefully, potentially sell them on to bigger and better clubs and careers? Yeah,
the remit is to get the best out of the group of players that are here, which includes the youth academy. Neil Simpson's done an unbelievable job, Gavin Levy's done an unbelievable job, along with all the coaches. So it's important that those guys are working for a reason. When Calvin Ramsey, when Jack McKenzie, when they're ready, that I am brave enough to put them in, and the staff are going to back me on it as well. So that's important, and I think the club has been built on it since before I got to the club as a kid. So I think it's important that is embraced, and I'm here to do that. But again, the young players will know they have to earn it as well. They're not just going to get chucked in the team if they're not ready. So they'll have to earn it, and enough of them will, I'm sure.
I mean, in some ways, you're the ultimate version of that story, because I always think the players, the ex-players that the club fans adore are the ones that they've seen through, breaking through as 16, 17-year-olds. And then if they don't make a career here, and there are many like Andy Considine that have made a career here, they go on and they see them on Match of the Day in the evening on a Saturday night, and they can be proud of having, if you like, cheered on and played their part in seeing these boys develop. Yeah, I think there's that real connection. I think I would never describe myself as a hero at this club. I think I did well for the club, and then I left. I got sold for some money. A guy like Andy Considine played his whole career. That's a hero at a football club, and he's still here, and he's a real icon for the young players. They can look at him. He's still playing in the first team. He still plays for Scotland. That's someone that the young boys should be looking up to. He lives his life right, or you couldn't play for this long. So it's important that connection's there. The club's had a youth team graduate in the team for I don't know how many years, for a huge number of years, and I'm not going to be the guy that takes that away.
Just speaking to some of the players before your arrival, Stephen, there was great excitement about the new regime coming in here. What's the response from the players been like since you arrived at Cormack Park?
It's been really good, actually. Obviously the game got moved the day earlier, which kind of altered our preparation, but we gave the boys the day off that they were planning for, so we had 1 day less prep, so we've seen them for 2 days now. The reaction has been really, really good. Paul, Simi, Marsh, the boys have told me how it has been under them, and they're pleased to see how we've come in and handled it as well and picked up where Paul's left off.
You briefly spoke about Scott Brown. The reaction to him coming to the club has been a bit mixed from fans. How do you think he's going to be able to get them on side?
I don't think the reaction's been mixed to Scott Brown coming to the football club. I think it's been amazing. I think the people in the club store think he's going to be the best selling jersey we've ever had. He is, to me, the reaction was mixed at first before there was a real belief and a realisation that he is actually going to come. I think that's why there was some form of negativity in the first instance. I think since Scott signed his contract, I think there's very, very few people that see it as a negative. He's going to be amazing for this club, for this community, and he's excited to be here as well.
And just a final one for me, you're no stranger to the history of this club and the success that they crave from the fans really want to see from their players and this manager. What would this success look like for you here at Aberdeen? Success
starts on Saturday by winning the next game in the Cup and getting into the next round of the Cup. I've continually said, like, Derek McInnes was a successful manager here. Successful managers put trophies in the trophy cabinet at Aberdeen. I would love to be one of those guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
All right, thanks a lot. Cheers, thank you.